Hello, friends. Welcome back to the show. I want to talk about teeth today. I just got back from the dentist and it brought up all kinds of emotions. We'll get into it today. But there's so much coming through with the physical body right now. I know this has been popping up strongly for me, and it's also going to be popping up for a lot of us who are moving through these next levels of ascension. So I want to talk about the physical body a little bit and kind of channel around teeth because I need some clarity and I need some answers. I just want to remind you that I'm hosting, my team has helped me put together an incredible summit next week. It's called the Manifest Abundance Summit. If you're listening to this live, it starts on June 19th and it's going to be all week long. And we are going to cover literally every angle of manifesting abundance possible. I have put together an incredible, truly next level panel of speakers. These are all people that have really deeply impacted me and I have learned a lot from, and I really respect and admire, and I'm just excited to share more of their work and their information with all of you. So, one of the things that I love about podcasting and just with what I do is helping you guys find other really cool people that I love as well. So I'm really excited to do this. We are going to be talking about manifestation. We're going to be talking about abundance and all of the different iterations of that. So we're going to talk about money, manifesting money, making money, creating money. We are going to talk about health and the body. We're going to talk about relationships, intimacy, masculine and feminine energy. We're going to talk about regulating your nervous system, hypnosis, human design, numerology, astrology. So there are just so many incredible souls that are going to be a part of this. It's a totally free summit. So if you go to manifestabundancesummit.com, you can register there for free. And we will also put the link in the show notes or description if you're watching this on video or listening on audio. So I really hope that you guys can make it. It's just going to be so next level. I can't even tell you how excited I am about this. I feel like I'm just giddy about it. It feels like Christmas because I just know that these conversations are going to be so transformational and they will really unlock a lot for all of you. For me, I just feel like, as I've mentioned before, I'm just hitting this next iteration, I guess. It's a different part of my mission, the next leg of my mission rather. And I'm just feeling so fired up about really getting as much information, as many perspectives out through my different platforms as possible, just to help spark whatever that sparks within you, right? I know that one of the ways that my brain works and my channel works is when I'm listening to other people chat or share their perspective, it just activates and pops open something else for me, often completely unrelated to what they're talking about. So it's not always even about, whatever that person's sharing directly resonating with you. If it does, that's great. If not, no worries. But there's something about that frequency transfer that will really activate your own inner knowing about whatever it is in your life. And I know I'm not the only person who operates like that because it really is the frequency transfer. It's similar to what the guides were saying when in the last episode when Teal was talking to the monarch being, I believe, and they were saying, when you're in the energy of breakthrough talking to us, that frequency of breakthrough is being transmitted through the audio, through the video, however people are watching it, so that they can experience their own breakthrough, which may or may not be related to what we're saying, right? And so everything that's coming through right now is really the other level of this is for people to actually just get a deeper understanding of what it means to be an energetic being, because we know that, but we don't always understand all of the implications of that. And I know I am more deeply understanding all of the implications of that every single day. So anyway, check out the summit. I'm super excited about it. It's totally free. There are upgrades if you do want to pay for some upgrades, but you don't have to. So it's going to be really incredible. And so many people are saying to me, I can't believe that this is free. This is abundance. This is abundance, right? And I know so many people are looking for answers. They're looking for some support through the shifts. Put yourself in the position to be supported. put yourself in the position to get answers, right? So listening to all this information that's free out there. What if it's out there? Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. I do want to also get into support, but I'm just doing this right in between. I have a lot of appointments today. It's like my appointment day, which I needed because yesterday I was like on video all day long and the EMFs really hit me, but that's also connected to the physical body. Our physical bodies are going to be talking to us in really intense ways. I'll say like the further along you move through the ascension process, the more aware you will become of your physical body and how things are affecting it that don't always have, a physiological component to it. So it really is a deepening of the relationship with the vessel. But it's interesting because teeth, there are just certain things that kind of like just trigger me. Like I get sensitive about it. And, a lot of that is from things earlier in this incarnation that happened, different experiences. It's kind of like me and dogs, me and water. I've, things from earlier in this lifetime, but then also different things in other lifetimes. You know how we all have that stuff that we just get I don't want to go into it. And there's always a reason for that. Whether it was something that we didn't like that occurred in this lifetime or other lifetimes, or it is a trigger point because it's really connected to our mission and what we're here to go into. And that's the thing, is a lot of times mission is often the thing that people feel the stickiest about, to be honest. Like they don't want to go into it. They have so much resistance to it. The thing that you have the most resistance around is the thing you got to look at. Look, human me knows that's not easy. So I went to the dentist, and it's funny because teeth is just one of these things I just get weird about. And I grew up around like the teeth conversation. My mom was a dental hygienist for she still is technically, but that's not what she works in now. Anyway, she was a dental hygienist, all growing up, and my godfather was my dentist, and I spent a lot of time in the dentist office just hanging out because, my mom would just bring me, and everybody there was like family. And I've just been around a lot of teeth. My mom would always be looking at my teeth. I don't know. I just have a lot. I was like very much around teeth and dentistry. And I've had a lot of teeth things go on. Like I've just had a lot of weird things going on with my teeth, and like teeth not growing in, teeth growing in incorrectly. I had teeth stuck up in my cheek, and they had to burn off my gums and bring it down. Like I just had all kinds of weird stuff. And I am really grateful that I had like my godfather and my mom to help me through all the teeth stuff, because there was just so much that has happened. Like ever since I was young, I was just like, why do I always have this like teeth trauma? It's like never ending. And I know teeth is a really sensitive thing for a lot of people too. And, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I don't know if I talked about this on the show, but it was around the time when I got my new birthday, when I had like my walk-in or whatever we want to call it now. My cat is over here trying to pull at this string. Anyway, I shouldn't have let her in here. So around that time, I started to get these like invasive thoughts about like my teeth getting knocked out. And I hate even saying it. And I was having dreams about it, and it was happening in all different kinds of ways. And I was like, I didn't really know what was going on. And it was, I hated it so much that I didn't even want to go into it. And I'm like, am I getting psychically attacked? I'm like, what is this saying? And I got really paranoid about my teeth, and I started clenching really badly, and it was just like all this stuff about my teeth. And then I started like seeing this visual of me, and I was a different version of me, like a different incarnation. I was really old, like a really old medicine woman. And like my teeth were, whatever, a lot with teeth. And, I felt like I was being pushed to go more in the teeth direction, but I didn't really want to explore all of that. What helped me a lot was I had a mentor at the time who I told her about this, and she said, oh yeah, that happens to me every time I go through a major transformation. And I was like, oh my God, I feel so much better about it. And I'm bringing that up because just in case any of you are having things pop up with your teeth. Now that I've realized that sometimes I have weird dreams about my teeth, like losing my teeth or things happening with my teeth. And it's always when I'm going through a huge death, rebirth, transformation. And there is so much that's stored in the teeth and that the teeth represent. Like I can't even get into it here. And I don't even know all of it, which is kind of why I want to open up. I feel like every time I channel and ask the guides about teeth, I'm just kind of getting different angles. And I mean, I know that there are lots of people who just specialize in the spirituality side of teeth, but the same way every single part of the body represents something energetically, and there are general meanings, but there are also meanings that apply to the individual as well. It really does need to be an individualized thing. Remember, our bodies are talking to us, but we store so much information. We store trauma, we store fears. Think about like when we have an energy in the body that we are not getting out. And this goes back to emotional release and how we need to be doing somatic work. We need to be moving energy through the body. We need to be staying on top of this. I had my friend Mark Champagne in the membership yesterday, and he was talking about mental fitness. It was such a great call. Definitely recommend checking it out if you haven't already. You can just go to christinathechannel.com/membership to check out the free trial, or to join if you want to join. But we were talking about mental fitness, and something he was mentioning was like mental debris and how things can build up in our brains and in our mental space, and the importance of clearing that out. And it's the same thing with like energetic debris. And that is why I feel I don't even want to phrase it like that. The guides keep telling me, it's so funny. You'd be shocked. I'm very direct, but the guides keep telling me I just keep sugarcoating everything. So I'm going to try to not, but it is not like an optional thing at this point, in my opinion, to be doing energy work if you want to be well. And if you're here, like I am talking to leaders, to light leaders, to people who are awake and aware and are here to lead on this planet vibrationally, who are here to anchor in light. And if that's you, like, and you're not doing energy work, and remember, energy work can come in so many different forms, right? If we're not working with the energy body and the physical body, right? Doing somatic work, doing energy release, working with our field. But if we're not doing that, we are not going to be well. And we're going to really, really experience the negative effects of that. Like our bodies are going to be pushing us really intensely to kind of force us to do that kind of work, you know? So it's like, Ahai for me is like brushing my teeth. Like I need to be doing that every day. I don't need a full session, but I'm going to work with my energy body, clear stuff out, clear out my field, make sure that my aura is good. All of that the same way, like I would not go to bed at night without brushing my teeth. I just couldn't. I couldn't. So when we don't move an energy through the body, like if we don't move energy out, if things get stuck, if things get calcified essentially, and they go deep into this in my first book, Manifestation Mastery, where does that get stored, right? And that gets stored in the tissues and the organs, but deep emotion, energy, fear, trauma, where is that going to go? Like we're looking at bones, we're looking at teeth, you know, and I know a lot of people say that the teeth hold the Akashic records. And oh my gosh, my cat. If you're on video, here's Luna. Hi, Luna. Okay. She's been actually extra like needy recently. What's that about? Oh, she says she's protecting me. She knows there's a lot going on. Animals are going to come in strongly. I'll do an episode about that. Animals are, if your animal is acting weird recently, it's because they're picking up on the energy shifts. They're picking up on like stuff is happening. And that's why a lot of them are getting more like kind of codependent and needy. But anyway, people say that the Akashic records are held in the teeth, which I resonate with and I don't. Like I think it's like the water holds the Akashic records because water is the most efficient data storage device. That's why when you're in the bath, in the shower, people get great ideas because they're just actually accessing the Akashic records. But I mean, our bodies are wise and they store wisdom, and our teeth, of course, are going to be storing like the most important information. And that includes from like this ancestral line, and that also is on a soul level. Things are going to be imprinted in the teeth. And think about like when a body decays, like if somebody is I don't know who this would be exactly, but when people go to identify a body and what's left is the teeth, right? Our bones might be left, but like if there's a fire, the teeth are left. That's how strong they are, and they're still storing all of that information, And so there's a lot of really interesting stuff when we look at like what happens when something is at play with the tooth. And we know this physiologically, right? Like a lot of people's health issues stem from what's going on in their mouth, right? And we can look at the oral microbiome, but we can also look at, just historically how there's been a lot of metal put in mouths, all of that, and how a lot of people now are realizing, like, if you don't have a biological dentist, please go find one in your area. A lot of people with chronic health issues, it's all kind of stemming from the mouth or cavitations, things like that. And it's just interesting to look at, well, what's going on with that tooth? What does that tooth represent? And what is it actually storing? And, this has been coming up with a lot of clients recently. And a lot of them are kind of like hesitant to have the work done on the tooth. A lot, sometimes like when it's the back tooth or maybe something needs to be removed or cleared out. But what that actually can do is create a really powerful energetic shift of releasing fears and releasing traumas, and so sometimes that part of the body, especially the teeth, but you can also see this with chronic pain, so like if you have, it could be in your tooth, maybe you have pain there, maybe there's a consistent issue. And so what is that tooth storing for you? But also if you have, it could be your back, it could be your shoulder, it could be your neck, like what bones are storing something, and what is that? Like, is that something from when you were a kid? And why I'm bringing this up is because if you can start to feel into that and identify that, what kind of energy work, somatic work, emotional healing can you do to release that from your field so it doesn't have to store in the bone, in the tooth, right? And the reason why we're bringing this up, because I'm channeling right now, is because they're trying to bring through. So right now there's a lot of Atlantean energy coming through. I've been doing a lot of Atlantean and Lemurian stuff recently. And so I'm connecting with an Atlantean medicine woman who is basically saying that they are dripping in an understanding of how we can heal the body naturally. And they're dripping it in. She's saying a lot of people are trying to just like get a lot of information right now at one time, but we can't, we're not necessarily supposed to. And I will say, I'm glad you just said that. Thank you. Because sometimes I get really stuck because I'm like in my records, where I'm like trying to channel information and I'm just getting it dripped, and my ego is like, can you just send it in now? And they're like, no, we're dripping it out, because part of the problem is that this is like round 2 of Atlantis. And this is our opportunity to do it differently. And part of one of many problems that happened with Atlantis was, one of the manifestations of being power hungry and greedy was like just almost too much information at once. And when you go too quickly, things can implode, things can explode. And think about even just, the history that we think we know, and people get their hands on new technology, new information, and we try to build or create or utilize it too quickly, too soon, and we don't realize all of the long-term implications. And I mean, this is happening now. I mean, I think one of the big things that's happening is the effects of EMFs and 5G. And I know for a while, like, we've known these negative health effects, but I also feel like right now people are getting affected more than ever before. Like, the more you raise your vibration, you are going to feel like you're getting fried by the EMFs. Like, I know I am feeling this really intensely, and I'm like, I need to move to an area where there's just like less around me, because I'm feeling it so intensely. And even a year ago, like, I could feel it, but not as much as now, right? Like, if all of your friends have their phones out around you, you're going to feel like you're on a microwave, like that kind of feeling. So she's saying that they're dripping out information and dispersing it actually amongst different people to prompt collaboration, to slow us down so we can really sit with that, work with it, apply things one step at a time, because too much too soon can be dangerous, she's saying. There's a lot of Atlantean energy coming back. You know, a lot of us who are seated here right now, we're here during Atlantis. You might resonate more with Atlantis or Lemuria, or you might have had lifetimes in both. But noticing where some of your fears or emotions or energies from those lifetimes are kicking up right now more than ever before, like, because this really is round 2, and that's why a lot of us came back for this incarnation of, okay, we can do it differently and have a completely different result of, like, actually create the new earth. Well, create, live, step into the other incarnation of it. You know, it's kind of like there's a split of 2, but that's kind of another topic. And so, okay, what else can you tell me about teeth? She says teeth, she's saying teeth hold the wisdom of your soul. She's hilarious. She's like got really long hair. She's got like really long hair that's kind of like half dreads, half braids. It's like silver, piercing blue eyes. She's actually very tan. And she's saying her name. She's spelling it out for me. And she's first showing it to me in like symbols. Is that Atlantean? It's not English. And then she's giving me a translation. Kanubu, Khanubu. No, she's saying no, Kunabu. Kunabu. She said, yeah, that will work. She's laughing at me. She kind of reminds me of another. I was going to say, she kind of reminds me of another version of me. She's not me though. She said she knew me. She said she knew me. She said she helped train me. Wow. Love this. Love this for me. Okay. Teeth are going to be coming up a lot for different people. Aches, pains, sharp. She's saying sharp juts of energy, because you're, is that a word? A jut? Whatever. You get, we can make up words here. It's fine. I don't know. I mean, everything I do here is kind of weird, right? So she is hilarious. Okay. She's saying like sharp juts of energy that are meant to call your attention to that physical area, so you can start to talk with your body, work with your body, communicate with it. Oh, hey, what are you saying? It's like a kid, you know, it's like a child who maybe doesn't speak words yet and is tugging on you like, hey, I need something, you know, or crying. And then you're like, okay, are you hungry? Do you need your diaper changed? That kind of thing. And she's saying the body is very wise and is teaching you more than your minds can at this time. That's for sure. And so you can't escape where you're out of alignment, where your body is unhappy. Your body is going to be telling you where it's happy and where it's not. And your minds are so strong that a lot of you are trying to override what your body is telling you consistently, but it's getting to the point where it'll make you so sick or put you in so much pain that you literally can't do this anymore. You came here to fulfill a mission. And remember that your body is part of that mission. You chose this physical vessel. And part of the contract with this physical vessel was, hey, vessel, you're co-creating with me, and I've got this mind, I've got this ego, I've got all these thoughts, I've got all this conditioning, and so your job is to keep me on track. And this is this whole death and rebirth thing, and this is another reason why teeth are coming up right now, because so many people are going through death and rebirth and chronic pain, sharp pain, acute pain. She's bringing up, like, this is your body saying, hey, listen. But teeth are so connected to death and rebirth, and that we're really hitting this turning point, so many of us right here. And it's like, get on mission or get off the train. But she's laughing and she's saying, you can't get off the train. You're here, you're doing it, and it's going to get easier. You're going to recognize that when you actually listen to your body and listen to its wisdom, your entire life gets easier. And she's saying there's something with pain, there's this energy of contraction, of tenderness. And so what is it that you really need on a soul level? Right? So this is forcing us to go inward. There's too much busyness and too much distraction. She's saying you've been distracted for so long that a lot of you haven't even heard your bodies. And a lot of you are also not used to having other people help you with your bodies. If you saw your bodies as the sacred temples that they are, you would treat your bodies completely differently. Oh man, here we go. I've been Christina has been complaining recently. I've been complaining recently because I'm there's a lot of things I'm doing for my body that sometimes my human is like, this is taking so much time, but I feel so good doing it, and I'm like, this is a full-time job. This is when I was really sick with chronic illness, it was a full-time job to take care of myself. And now there's all these things that I do to take care of my body, not just make it feel good and keep my vessel clear. It's part of keeping a clear channel. It's very physical. It's not just a spiritual thing. It's a physical thing. It's like training to be an athlete, taking care of myself as an athlete. That she's saying in ancient times, you understood that your body was your temple and that your body was working with you, and you honored your body. And so you did everything to make sure it was taken care of like it was a child. And so you worked with different people for, she's saying, spinal manipulation work. This is why chiropractic is so important. You worked with people for detoxification, for working with your energy field. This was part of just what you did to honor your temple, so it would stay happy, so it would stay well, and so it could work and co-create with you. And there's been such a disconnection between us and the body that now it's speaking really, really loudly. And this is a very different thing than I feel mainstream. It's love your body, be friends with your body. This is a very different level. This is understanding imagine you're on a spaceship and you are driving the spaceship, and imagine that spaceship has a personality. Actually, no. Give me a better one. Okay, you're riding a dragon. You have a dragon, you're riding the dragon, and the dragon is with you everywhere. And we're going to get into dragons too, because dragons are coming up big time. Maybe I'll do that in a couple days. Dragons, support, whatever. Dragons coming up big time. People are feeling their dragons. So you have a dragon, and this dragon is your mode of transportation. And how do you work with the dragon? It's actually very Avatar, Avatar, and you know how they have to bond with the animals. They have to bond with them, and then they become loyal. They're best buds, and then they fly them around. You can't force that creature to bond with you, right? That creature has its own consciousness and its own feelings, and you are co-creating with that creature. You're working with that creature, and you're supporting each other, and it's a relationship. It's a loving relationship. And you're actually that's a really good example. That if you've seen Avatar, and especially the most recent one, I feel that it kind of showed that a little bit more about bonding with the creatures, and I feel it went deeper. That movie went deeper into kind of their relationship. Are you treating your body in the same way? versus like your body is something that I am going to control and will into doing things, or it's just this annoying thing that's having problems and I don't want to listen to it. Like, we can't do that. This is about seeing the sacred in everything around us and seeing ourselves as sacred and understanding like my soul, an extension of source, chose this vessel and we are in this together. We are here to serve our mission together, and it's going to be guiding me every step of the way, because your body remembers, and your body also remembers other stuff too. Your body is carrying stuff from your family line, from your ancestral line, and so you get to work with your body to release that, to clear that. It's part of the video game. It's part of it. You think you're going to plop in the video game and have nothing to do? Oh, no, no, no. Got lots of levels to hit. Wow. So I think it's really interesting that my cat is here right now. She was like clawing to come in, which she usually doesn't do. She's doing that a lot more recently, but she's sitting on my lap. She never does this when I'm recording. Yeah, I think she really wants to be, Luna wants to be close. I think I might do a video where I'm talking to Luna. I'll channel her live. I'll tell you what she's saying. She's actually very wise. She gets a kick out of this earth thing. She's been protecting me for a long time, and she wanted to just be this cute little cat this time. So anyway, anything, she's saying she's excited. She's like, you guys are starting to get it. You're starting to get it. But you have to take the lead from your body. So whatever your body is saying to you, and you can't, she's saying you can't have this hierarchy of what is more important than something else. Like if you are feeling anxiety, if you're feeling like you can't sleep, if you are feeling like, I don't know, like, oh, I always have this pain, and you're kind of overlooking it. But if something more acute and intense and urgent comes up, now, oh, that's a priority. So you have to stop doing that. You have to treat your body as sacred, and your body holds the codes. And for for all of us, right? Wherever the pain is stored, wherever we're having issues, quote unquote, there's something that wants to be unlocked, that wants to be released, that wants to be healed. And a lot of major shifts right now can happen when we release that. So this is it. So because so many of us are at this turning point, at this pivot point, at this, like, I'm right on the cusp of something, or I've just like stepped into this new iteration of myself and I'm ready for it to anchor in. It's that feeling of on the cusp, or like, okay, I'm in the new me, but there's something else, like it hasn't fully locked in. It's the body. That's the next piece. Like that's going, it's sort of like, okay, you've stepped into this different level of you vibrationally, but there's still energy, there's still fear, there's still trauma, there's still whatever it is stored in the body that isn't resonant for you anymore. And so that the pain, the ache, the thing that's not working, it's popping up intensely, because it's like, okay, we've got to move this out physically. We've got to take this out of the body physically, energetically, physically, because now your body can upgrade. So it's like the physical vessel can't make its next level of upgrade until those energies get released. So I'm curious how this lands for you guys. Anything else? No, that's good for today. She's fun. Come back soon. Thank you very much. All right. Leave a comment below. If you're watching the video, let me know how this lands, what's coming up for you. And if you did enjoy this, be sure to share it with somebody. Take a screenshot, share it to social media, tag me, tag at Christina in the Channel podcast. I always appreciate all of the shares. And I'm pumped, you guys. I'm like, let's do this. There's going to be a lot of good stuff coming through. So we'll see who I channel next and who comes through. All right. Thanks again for tuning in. Sending you all lots of love. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.